with Niak Korbani, Mr. Banana Man. And we were just out having dinner, having a peaceful weekend, and we've just heard that Mohammed Ziauddin Yusuf, aka Zia Yusuf, has returned to Reform UK. He's cancelled his resignation. He's released a statement. What is going on?
And I think this is a most quicker Muslim comeback.
It's the quickest Muslim comeback. The fast. Actually, before I read you the statement we received from Mohammed Ziauddin Yusuf, Niak said something very interesting in the restaurant. He was saying something about politicians.
Yeah, never trust the politician.
Never trust a politician.
And even more, don't trust Muslim politician. Actually.
Yeah, don't trust a politician, especially a Muslim politician. That politicians lie naturally, and obviously the Islamic side are allowed to lie. Combining that, you get Zia Yusuf. So let's read the statement we've now just received from Mohammed, saying, over the last 24 hours, I have received a huge number of lovely and heartful messages from people.
Who did that?
Who have expressed their dismay at my resignation, urging me to reconsider. First things first, in case you don't know, Zia resigned after he opposed the burqa ban idea. He likes a nice burqa. Maybe he wears it at home. So he's back. So a lot of people actually celebrated, because even Reform supporters, because they said it came out yesterday that Zia was planning to do a massive campaign internally in Reform to bring the Muslim voters and the Islamic side into Reform. That was his plan. So everybody was like, oh, thank God he's gone. Now he's back, he's going to do that. So he said, after 11 months of working as a volunteer, he was a director, by the way, of the company, to build a political party from scratch, he's taking credit for Reform UK. First things first, Reform has been going since 2020. Before that was a Brexit party. Nigel, Richard Tice, Ben Habib, these guys created it. Anyway, he's taking credit.
Ben Habib, actually. He deserves
more credit,
more credit.
And he said, from scratch, I built the party from scratch. With barely a single day off. My tweet was a decision born of exhaustion. He was tired, guys. He was tired when he resigned. He's cancelled it now. I only came into politics out of a sense of duty. Duty to Mohammed? Anyway, to serve the country I love. Again, which country? The country that has been so kind to my parents and presented me with immense opportunity to bring more Muslims into Reform. Out of a sense of duty to do whatever I could to reverse decades of decline and make this country one in which we could be excited for our children to grow up. I came into politics out of belief that Nigel Farage was the man to deliver that. I'm scared of the guy. You don't trust anybody in London, you know. Having read the messages, I believe in these things more than ever.
Nobody stab you.
He's the human shield. I'm going to use them as a human shield. I know the mission is too important, and I cannot let people down. So I will be continuing my work with Reform UK. My commitment redoubled. Oh no. Reform has come a long way since I was appointed chairman and has moved from startup to scale up. Really? Given this, and that we have now one power at the local level, I will focus on a new role. I will be running a UK Doge team, Doge team. Dodge, to fight for taxpayers. He wants a dodgy. Dodge is here, as well as working on party policy and representing it in the media. Oh, so burqa ban is gone. Burqa, yes, is back. I will continue to give all my time to the most important project of my life, getting a Reform government elected with Nigel as Prime Minister. He literally said when he resigned, I don't believe in a Reform government anymore.
Yeah,
and then he literally, bring it up.
Yeah.
Has he deleted it? I wonder if he's deleted that statement. This is so bad. This is so embarrassing for everybody, especially Reform UK. Is that there? Yeah, we got it. Yeah, no, I can read it. So let's go back 2 days. This is the quickest Muslim comeback we've seen in history. Quicker than
Muslim comeback. He's a Muslim comeback.
If you're Shia, you'll get this quicker than Imam Mahdi, who disappeared apparently. Anyway, so this is what he said. 11 months ago, I became chairman of Reform. I worked full-time as a volunteer to take the party from 14% to 30% and, quadrupled the membership. I no longer believe working to get a Reform government elected is a good use of my time, and resigned. So, okay, there are a couple of issues. Now he's back. The first statement of resignation,
Let me take screenshots.
he only said the first time, I helped the party to go from 14% to 30, whatever. Now he's saying he created Reform UK from scratch. He's taking full credit. So you've got that to deal with. But does it send a good message to anybody in the country or anywhere in the world? Somebody saying, I am so emotional, I was exhausted, I had a meltdown, but I'm back, you can trust me. No, you're not stable emotionally. Why on earth would you trust you?
Exactly.
What is it?
Actually,
Katie Hopkins.
She tweeted that 2 days ago,
Yeah.
and Zia actually responded.
Yeah, about the burqa ban.
Yeah.
When he was like, Katie Hopkins said, Dear Zia, Mohammed, Mohammed, a Reform UK spokesperson says the burqa ban is not party policy. Is this you at work again? And he basically said, yes, this policy has nothing to do with me. This is not party policy. And he resigned over the burqa ban. And when he left, people thought maybe Reform is going to become right-wing. Maybe Reform, they did it on purpose. This was a plot. Everybody said Nigel Farage and Sarah Pochin worked together. This was orchestrated. They got her to say that, so they have an excuse to get rid of Zia. Then that was because he said it's a dumb thing. Burqa ban is a dumb thing. That's what he said. But now he's back, and Nigel said, yeah, come back, Zia. So all that, the theories people had that, this was a plan. Nigel, he's a genius. He did it because he wants Reform to go right wing. No, burqa ban is gone, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's why. Exactly, that's why.
I think probably Zia had a chat again with people like Nigel, and they said the demographic is changing. This country is becoming Islamic. You're gonna need the Muslim votes. You're gonna need me back. And
the Muslims actually stick on the power, in the UK, because he on his statement, he's talking about the Nigel Farage in the future going to be Prime Minister,
It's fucked up.
Somebody should be there to, protecting them.
It's insane. I mean, I genuinely, I thought we're just out here having dinner with the rest of the Tousi TV family.
That was dinner. That was lunch, actually. Late lunch.
Late lunch. Okay, we were
dinner.
recording our podcast.
I'm accepted as a dinner.
It was late lunch, and then we saw this, and I was like, no, that should be a joke. That must be a joke. Everything that all these Reform supporters were thinking over the last couple of days, that obviously this was planned, and the party is going to become right wing, and some people said, oh, now that Zia's gone, I'm fine. I'm happy with everything else that Reform is doing. I'm back. People forget that a lot of people also had an issue with the way Nigel himself was handling things, including Tommy, including Rupert Low, or as we call him now, Rupert Low, the Indian bots.
Actually, they're throwing the British society easily on the boss, but for the other actually ethnic groups, they are super sensitive.
That's a very good point. Yeah, if people complain about politicians and parties all the time. When the British people complain, these parties, all of them, Tory, Reform,
all
Labour,
of them, yeah.
they attack them, saying, okay, you are crazy, you're far right, you're uneducated, you're extreme, you shouldn't complain. But when, for example, the Muslim families in Birmingham were protesting violently outside schools, politicians were like, oh, we should listen to their concerns. When Zia Yusuf is saying, and Reform UK say we have to basically becoming more Islamic. We have to bring more Islamic ideas. Islamic ideas are British ideas. That's what they said. Islamic values are British values. If the Islamic side complain about a policy of Reform UK will say, oh, of course, we'll listen to you. Of course, we have to make sure you're happy. But it makes no sense. Same thing Angela Rayner did as deputy leader of Labour before the election. She went to that meeting with a bunch of Islamic men wearing a red dress. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure those men are going to take you seriously. A woman telling them what to do. I don't think you know how Islam works.
Exactly. Because they don't know what Islam actually want, you
Yeah.
know, and they never listening to us as an ex-Muslim, you know.
Yeah.
They just calling us Islamophobic.
Yeah, yeah. Can you bring up a Rupert Low? Actually, has reacted on X as well. I want to read you what the Rupert Low, as I call him, Rupee Low, is saying because he's gonna love it. I cannot believe the guy's back. Alright, so
20.
Rupert said, Zia Yusuf is back in reform. I have never been more convinced that we need a credible alternative to the utter shambles that is Reform UK. I am working on that and will have more news to share soon. This is the first time Rupert Low has indicated that maybe there is another movement coming soon.
I think, in my opinion, the
Yeah.
good politician,
Yeah.
should make new party.
Yeah.
And just focus
An
on
actual right-wing party. We don't have an actual right-wing party.
Yeah,
We have a lot of
just-
centre-right party.
just focus on the British society and the problem here, everything.
Yeah.
Actually, in this country, many people deserve really safe life.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not just talking about myself. I'm
Yeah.
talking about the British society. I
Yeah.
have just one life. Okay, done. When somebody in street stab me, it's finished. You know.
Yeah.
One ex-Muslim is gone. You know, it's finished. But you should think about the future, about the young generation. I was in a show in what's her name? GB News with
Martin Dobney.
Martin Dobney. He talking about the two young children killing the actually Indian British guy,
Yeah.
and he was so upset, really upset, to sharing this news.
Yeah.
And after the news, he said, where we are exactly, what in our actually country is wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
We should think about these things, and this
Yeah.
is not actually small.
It's
crime.
insane. I mean, there is a gap in the market that people want something and we're not giving it to them. In an actual patriotic party, it's not really about. I mean, every country has it. Even Germany has it.
Yeah.
Like and you have that to deal with. So I think there we go. What do you think of Reform UK? What do you think of Zia Yusuf?
No comment. No comment.
No, we're not Reform UK fans. Anyway, they do not look like. She's so drunk. She's been carried. She's so drunk. She's mum. Oh my gosh, she's gonna fall. That is so funny. They were not left wing though. Oh my god, that's. I don't know what you can see. So what we can get from the Rupert Low statement is that there were also rumors recently that Rupert is going to defect to the Tories. That's not going to happen because he said an actual credible alternative. He's working on an alternative.
Yeah.
So let's find out what happens. All right, we're going to have to go pay the bill because we left the restaurant. We left Danielle and Nas. I cannot stop laughing. I know this is a disastrous news for Reform supporters. Oh no. Anyway, so this was the first live stream of the day. I thought it was going to be a happy news, but Zia's back, guys. Mohammed Zia, the Yusuf is back.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much for watching.
We miss
The rain
you.
is crazy. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.